now we get some analysis from our business correspondent, Ibn Mabunda, who is in the Harare CBD near the central bank. Ibn, good evening. The long-awaited monetary policy is set for Friday. What are some of the issues in the economy that it could address?
Well, good evening, Faith. High expectations, of course. The elephant in the room is that of the currency, which is depreciated in 2024 against the United States dollar by a margin that is higher than the entire 2022 and 2023 combined. It will be interesting to see how the new central bank governor navigates this particular aspect of the monetary policy statement. Money supply will also be a key instrument at the disposal of the central bank governor. Inflation, which is currently sitting at 55% in blended inflation terms, which means factoring in the US dollar as well as the Zimbabwe dollar. And the big question will be, how great is the extent of the inflation in Zimbabwe dollar terms? And also, of course, the aspect of the interest rates, which are sitting at 130%, one of the highest interest rates, not just on the continent, but also at the global scale. Forex retentions also take center stage, statutory reserves, a wide array of issues that need urgent address, and quite an unenviable task for the new central bank governor.
Now, even today, the president inspected the gold reserves and other reserves that are held offshore, where also revealed. Could this be an important part of the policy that is to be delivered tomorrow?
Yes, indeed, quite a signal presented there by the new central bank governor, who's trying perhaps to indicate or to highlight what could be a new era of transparency and perhaps new ethics going forward. Now, secondly, it's important to have perspective where the aspect of gold is concerned. Pre-2022, the annual global demand by central banks set at about 500 tons. But beyond 2022, the global demand by central banks has sailed at about 1,000 metric tons across the world, dipping slightly in 2023 to about 1,034 tons, a dip of about 4%. But by and large, there's an increasing demand according to the World Gold Council, which is expected to be sustained in 2024 as well as beyond. And so whether we are heading into a structured currency or not, the accumulation of gold reserves is important for an economy like Zimbabwe. And what's in the vaults, as well as the reserves that we've got in the country, is estimated at about 300 million United States dollars, which is less than a third of the monthly import requirement of the Zimbabwean economy, assuming that we are expecting imports of about 9 billion in 2024 for the Zimbabwean economy. So whether we pursue a structured currency route or not, what we've got in our vaults remains very much minimal, and there would be need to increase to at least 6 months of Zimbabwe's imports requirements to at least be able to leverage and sustain the stability of the Zimbabwe dollar going forward.
Now, even a question that most would have now is, how important is this policy for the business community, especially at this stage?
Look, Faith, price stability is something that is very important for business, for planning purposes, for pricing purposes, remuneration, and several other aspects. At the same time, this is where the spending ability of the consumer is actually defined. So if there is price stability, then the demand by or for the consumer can actually be sustained going into the future. But over and beyond that, interest rates are an important aspect of economic stability, as this is what determines and defines the productive ability of the economy. And with interest rates of 130%, this has impinged and infringed on the productive ability of the Zimbabwean economy. Now, where the banking sector is concerned, statutory reserves as well as minimum capital requirements for financial institutions will also be a key aspect where that is actually concerned. Now, Zimbabwean banks have been accused of being punitive lucrative in terms of the fee and commissions that they've been harvesting from the economy, while offering very, very minimal interest rates to depositors. So these are some of the aspects that business will be looking forward to seeing how the central bank governor will address them. And I would not have done justice if I do not speak about the forex retentions, which according to exporters in the economy is shaving off about 7 to 15% of the revenues of agricultural and mining exporters in the economy. So it's quite an important document that all business players in the economy are expecting to hear what the new central bank governor will present tomorrow.
Konapo, ipapo pa ZTN Prime, DSTV channel 294, the place to be.